Representing data vocabulary. First definition. Collected information is called data. Data where only whole numbers are possible is called discrete data. A frequency table is used to show the number of times something occurs. Generally, you'll be doing like tally marks on this, so you'll be making tallies to show how many times something occurs. A survey is a question or questions used to gather information. The numbers that show the units on a graph are called scale. They're scales. A display of responses along a number line with dots recorded above the responses to indicate the number of times a response occurs is called a dot plot. Or you may also hear this called a line plot. A scatter plot is a graph showing paired data values. So scatter plot. Next one. Numerical data is data involving numbers, including measurement data. So numerical data categorical data is data that can be divided into groups. An outlier is a value that is much greater or much less than the other values in the data set. So an outlier basically doesn't follow the pattern sometimes. A representative part of a larger group is called a sample. An interval is the amount between tick marks on the scale of a graph. A bar graph is a graph that uses bars to show and compare data. A relationship between two sets of data shows up as a pattern in a scatter plot is called a trend. A trend. So lots of trends. So you can have things like positive trend, which means your graph tends to go up. Your line goes in an upward pattern. You can have a negative trend, where your line in the graph tends to go down, or your points go down. Or you can have no trend. And this happens when you have points that are scattered all over. So they're not just in one place. So that happens on a scatter plot. There's one other graph that we need to talk about, and it's not on here, so you're going to have to write this in. It's the stem and leaf plot. So a stem and leaf plot is a convenient way to organize numerical data using place value. So I know that's a lot, so take your time. I'm going to write it out. A stem and leaf plot is a convenient way to organize numerical data using place value. And that is your vocabulary for Unit 10.